Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my studio. It's been a while, but we're back and I'm really excited to jump into a new project, which we have right here. This right here is a nursing dress that I bought from H&M. I suddenly found myself unable to wear the vast majority of my clothes after giving birth and now nursing, since most of what I own either doesn't fit me right now or isn't nursing friendly, so I had to go out and buy some nursing friendly clothing quickly. And one of the dresses that I ended up purchasing is this one. A really cute white dress with an adorable strawberry print, scalloped edge. It is a wrap dress, it has a wrap top and then this kind of nursing underlay that opens up from the side to provide nursing access. Love it. Adorable. It's so cute. One thing I don't like though is the skirt. Looking at it like this on the mannequin, it looks fine. It looked fine in the pictures as well, but once I put it on, this skirt just looks cheap. It's not right. There's not enough fabric. It is see-through. That's a big issue. It's a bit too flimsy, I guess. It doesn't really provide the silhouette that I like on my body. It makes the dress a little bit top-heavy, I guess. At first I thought I would return this dress, but the nursing dresses that are available are so disappointing. That the fact that I found one that I liked is something I need to cherish. So instead of returning it, I have decided to alter this dress until I do in fact like it and it is something that I can actually wear. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna change this dress. More specifically, I'm gonna change the skirt. I don't have a very clear plan yet. We need to develop that together. But what I do know is that I need more volume in the skirt. It definitely needs another layer, at least an underskirt or something, so that it is not see-through. I would like to make it longer, probably. I'm toying with the idea of repeating this scallop pattern, because this is a pattern that my sewing machine makes. I recognize that. So I think if I just have my sewing machine embroider this scallop onto the fabric and then cut off the excess fabric like on one side of the scallop, I will end up with this edge. So I'm toying with the idea of doing that along here, like right around hip level, and then coming in with a different fabric and having a second almost layer of skirt coming out underneath from that. Or if that doesn't work, I could always turn it into a top, I guess, that way, by just doing the scalloped edge at hip level. First of all, I think I should go into my fabric stash and see if I have a fabric that could work with this. So let's head into my fabric stash, but before we do that, I am very happy to let you know that today's video is brought to you by Wild. Back when I got pregnant, one of the first things I did was switch to an aluminium-free deodorant, something based on natural ingredients that is toxin-free and safe for me to use during that time. So that is where Wild comes in. I have been using Wild deodorant for a few years, I think it has been now, on and off, but I always really love returning to Wild. They are honestly my favorite natural deodorants for several reasons. First of all, it actually works the best out of all of the ones I've tried. This one stops all of the smells, even now. And let me tell you guys, postpartum sweat smell is no joke. It comes in a reusable aluminium case and then the refills come in bamboo packaging. There is no single-use plastic in any step of the process, and oh my gosh guys, the fragrances. They have 3 limited edition scents out currently, which are absolutely perfect for summer, and they all smell exactly like you would expect, with Sensorini Sunset being the one I have in here. Just a very nice, warm, kind of like gender neutral scent. It has some citrus, some vanilla. It's absolutely lovely. Yeah, I just really love that when I use Wild, I know that I'm using a safe deodorant that actually works and keeps me smelling fresh all day long. That is a hard combination to find. Now I do have a discount code for you guys. The code is Loepsie20. I will have a link in the description box that you can click. It takes you directly to the website. It doesn't last very long, that code, so do be sure to hurry on over and check it out. A huge thank you to Wild for partnering with me on this video. And now let's get back to sewing. I found two fabrics that I think will work. First, I have this cream viscose, which is pretty perfect, I'd say. At least it's the right shade of white. I had this beautiful eyelet fabric that I think would have been lovely to use with this, but it's a stark white, and if there's anything I hate, it's mixing whites. This is a similar enough, slightly cream off-white tone that I think it would work. And then I found this red, which also seems to be some type of synthetic fabric. I'm fairly sure this is viscose. Might, you know, bring out the red in these strawberries. It was the best out of, you know, everything I could find. How I'm gonna make this into a skirt, I'm not entirely sure yet. Here I have pinned up the bottom of this dress, and I think if I actually do end up cutting all of that fabric away, I could of course use that as well. So I'm thinking I might make like a tiered skirt, a red layer, a white layer, and another strawberry layer. If I cut all of this away, all of the stuff that I folded away now, cut it in half, sew it like this to make a very long strip, I think that could work. So a tiered skirt that keeps progressively getting wider. And then I definitely want to repeat that scalloped edge somewhere. And I'm not sure if I want to do it at every tier or just at the bottom. I could maybe do the red right here. So that could be the next one. Let's just pin that, see how it looks. And then white underneath that. This is a very poor representation of what I'm thinking here, but I think it could be cute. But looking at it from a bit of a distance, I don't think this white matches after all. It's a bit too bright still. So maybe I don't do the white and I just do a panel of red in between two panels of strawberry. All right, I thought I would just try the dress on. Maybe that would help in my decision making. And now at least you can see what my issue is with this dress. I just feel like the top promises more than the bottom delivers. Yeah, just the shape of it. And I feel like if there was more to this skirt, it would look a little bit nicer. So first off, let me determine exactly where I want to cut this. And I think, yeah, like I said about hip level, would actually make for a pretty cute top as well. A bit of red. How much would it need to be? I think at least this much. Oh, I just really hope this will work with the second layer of strawberry, because once I cut this, it's done. I can always go back and make it into a top if it doesn't work out as a dress. Let me just insert a pin here, this length, so that I know where to cut. I should cut the red fabric first, just so that I'm sure that that will actually work. Let's do that. Alrighty, I've gathered up and sewn on the first red panel, and if it's good, I'm gonna have to finish this edge somehow because this fabric frays like crazy. But first I wanna see if it has worked. So start by flipping it inside out. It's definitely gonna make the dress more voluminous, or the skirt portion at least, because this fabric is much sturdier than the airy fabric, like the original fabric. It looks nice like this. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead, try it on, see what we're working with, and then hopefully we can move on from there. I feel like we're definitely headed in the right direction. For sure it needs another layer because it's very, very short right now, but I think it looks really cute. And once we get this back on here, I think it's gonna be adorable. So what I'm gonna do next is first of all finish the seams on the inside of this. After that, I'm gonna cut this up, fold it in half, cut it again and make one long strip so that I can add one more layer. Just a little above knee should be where this ends up. I love it. Let's keep going. The bottom layer is on, and I think it worked out surprisingly well. You can't really tell the breaks in the pattern that much. I'm really pleased with how this looks at the moment. So the next step, which is possibly gonna be the last one, is doing the scalloped edge. I would very much like to repeat this pattern. See, like this scalloped edge pattern on the bottom of the skirt, just on the hem. In order to do that, I need to first figure out how to set my machine so that it makes these scallops that match the ones on top as closely as possible. So I think I'm gonna just grab a piece of scrap fabric and try out some different settings until I find a match that's as close as I can get to this. Hopefully just run it across the bottom, cut off any excess fabric, get a scalloped edge like that. Fingers crossed it works like that. Maybe I'll try that on the piece of scrap fabric before I do it to my actual dress. I tried a few options and I think this right here is the closest match, the closest I can get. I also noticed that they used a pretty different thread from what I'm using here to do that, because the thread on this border right here is kind of shiny. So I tried to look for something that was kind of shiny in my stash as well, and I think I found something that's at least a little bit shinier than this. But before I go ahead and do this on the actual fabric, I just want to see what happens if I cut along this, because if that doesn't work at all, then the whole plan goes out the window. So let me try and get as close to the edge as possible. Alrighty. Now, of course, this is a completely different fabric, but I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks nice. Okay, let's give it a try on the actual hem of the dress. Obviously, my test runs were done on a completely different fabric than this is. So I tried to do it on this and I can't for the life of me figure out the tension that I need to set my machine to. Tried several times, it just doesn't come out right. The thread is either loose on the front or on the back of the fabric, and also the little half moons are coming out really uneven, so I'm gonna let that idea go. I don't think I can make it work at this point, and I only want to do it if it actually is gonna look nice and also match the top. And I just don't think that's gonna happen. So instead, I'm just gonna do a regular hem, not ruin all the work that I put into this. The hem is on and I think the dress looks really good right now. I am also thinking, do I need to add this red fabric anywhere else to kind of tie the whole thing together? Like, is it too random at the moment? I'm also thinking, when it comes to dressmaking, usually less is more, and I tend to add too much. Even though I know I prefer simpler designs in general. So I'm also kind of worried about overdoing it. I do wish the scalloped edge had worked out. It looks all right like this as well. It's pretty clean, and this is, you know, the way it was originally as well, with just a normal hem at the bottom. So I'm thinking, would this look good if I added... You know what, let's get this back onto the dress form. We can experiment a little bit more. Can I just start by saying I already like it so much more than the way it was when we started out. The added length to the skirt, as well as the shape, like more fullness, just makes it feel so much more me. I feel like it's added even more girliness to the dress. Maybe a little strip of red. I'm not even sure if I have enough fabric, but just one more layer of red, just a little one, on the bottom like this. If I try and pin that. Is that cute? Or is that just entirely too much? I don't want it to start looking too costumey, because that's kind of what happens when you do too much. When you add too much frill, too much extra, can tend to start looking like a costume, and I don't want that. And I think this is maybe a little bit too much. Another thing I was considering, perhaps doing a little bit of red right on the edge of the sleeves, just to bring back that color somewhere. Now that could be cute, but which side is better, with the red or without the red? I do think I would really like to bring back that fabric somewhere so that it's more of a choice. It doesn't look as random as it does if I don't do that. So maybe this is a good idea, just adding a little bit of red on the bottom here. It is finished, and oh my gosh guys, I am so glad that I did this. I prefer this dress over the original so much. It is slightly longer, it has more contrast, which I feel like makes it suit my coloring a little bit better. I love the wider skirt, I love that it's a little bit more frilly this way. I am very glad that I did the red bands on the sleeves. I feel like that does pull the whole thing together and make this band of red feel not as isolated, I guess. It has also slightly lengthened the sleeves to a 3/4 length, which is my favorite length of sleeve. All in all, I am just so much happier with this garment now, and I can actually see myself wearing this all the time. And it's another nursing item in my wardrobe, which I can use. I was even able to save the care instructions that were sewn into one of the sides. They are now in the back of the skirt, which is lovely. Yeah, absolutely love the result. It was a pretty easy fix in hindsight. I took a lot of time trying to figure out what the best course of action was, but all in all it didn't take that much time, and I do feel like the impact is pretty big. Plus, it has been so much fun to finally get back behind the sewing machine again, because it has been a long time, months, and it has filled me with a lot of joy. I really loved sewing again. So thank you so much for joining me on this little sewing adventure, mini fast fashion flip, I guess. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see what else I'm up to in the upcoming weeks. Don't forget to check out Wild. All of the info is in the description box below. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you so much for watching once again, guys, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye!